Hare Krishna, everybody. Welcome to this daily Gita class. Let us start with the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So today we are going to do a very important verse from Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 7, the knowledge of the absolute. So chapter number 7 is very important chapter because this is where Lord Sri Krishna starts speaking about himself, about the knowledge of the absolute, the absolute truth. The absolute truth is Lord Sri Krishna. So the verse goes like this. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. Translation. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. So what this basically means is, Bahunam means multiple. Janmanam means many, many lifetimes. Ante, at the end of many, many lifetimes of spiritual practice, that too, Jnanavan. Jnanavan means a person with knowledge, with the impersonal knowledge. He will be Mam Prapadyate. He will surrender to Krishna. So, that means that the impersonal knowledge, there is no guarantee that we will go back to Godhead or we will get liberation immediately. And the path of the impersonal knowledge, what happens is, it requires a lot of practice. So for those who are in the impersonal path of realization, they will have to take many, many births, right? So, or they have to do transcendental rituals, right? Ritualistic philosophy, whoever are following, they will also have to wait for many, many lifetimes. And only when he comes to the proper knowledge of Krishna consciousness, then he will surrender to Krishna. So in the previous words also, Lord Sri Krishna said that even though there are 4 types of devotees who surrender to Krishna, those devotees who are in full knowledge are very dear to Krishna. And continuing that, Krishna is saying, unless one gets this knowledge about Krishna, that is the science of Krishna, or the science of the absolute, one may not be able to surrender to Lord Sri Krishna. Until then, what happens is, they are deluded by different kinds of philosophies. Actually, Krishna says that by birth, all the living entities are deluded by the modes of material nature. So that is nature. So therefore, since we are deluded by the modes of material nature, we cannot understand Krishna. But Krishna, he can understand the past, he can understand the present, and he can understand the future as well. So whatever has happened before today, right? Everything Krishna knows. Whatever is going to happen in the future, Krishna knows. Whatever is happening today, right now, Krishna knows. But who can know Krishna? Nobody can know Krishna. So it is not possible that anybody can say that I know Krishna. So if we have to know about Krishna, that is the knowledge of Krishna, we have to know it from Krishna himself. Right? So Krishna himself can talk about himself. Nobody else can talk about him. So when Krishna speaks, we therefore listen. Or if Krishna is not speaking, it is his representatives who will speak. And the nature of the representatives of Krishna is like a transparent via medium, right? It is just like that of a postman. So if there is a postman, right, who is delivering letters, just imagine a postman is there, who is delivering letters, right? You write a letter and the postman will read and put it back, right? Or change something and deliver it. Or whatever letter comes, he will open it, he will read it and change it and give it to you, right? So if this kind of changes happen, a lot of things can happen, right? But the thing is, a spiritual master or a true representative of Krishna, he must speak like a neutral postmaster who just simply delivers the message as it is from the sender to the recipient. So whatever message that Lord Krishna is giving, we are supposed to be passing down to whomever we are preaching without tampering the original message, right? Of course, we can add our realizations, right? But without, overriding the acharyas. So the acharyas, whatever they have said, we have to maintain that, and we can add our realization to it and then tell the message. But we cannot override that, right? So here in the purport, it is said that at a time when, person becomes very advanced, okay, from impersonalism, then he starts devotional service. So actually, generally, there is a conception that personalism leads to impersonalism. So this is a very famous kind of a quote, right? That is called Saakar se Nirakar, Sagun se Nirgun. So it is like the concept that the impersonalist says, first you start with some kind of personal worship that you can identify with some kind of deity worship. Then you will start worshipping the impersonal feature, which is like the graduation. That is what they try to say. But actually, if we see Bhagavad Gita, there is no mention of this kind of concept. That, first, a beginner devotee is worshipping personal and he's graduating to impersonal, like that. It has not been said anywhere in Bhagavad Gita. In fact, Krishna says personal and impersonal, both are my features. And in fact, Krishna says, among these two, personal worshipper is the best. Because the impersonal worshipper, even though he's getting the same result, he will have to undergo a lot of trouble. And the path is so troublesome and so difficult to take up. So that is why better is personal path, Krishna says is so clearly. And even from the Bhagavatam also, we see examples, right? The perfect example is that of the 4 Kumaras. These 4 Kumaras, right? They were impersonalists, right? They were the sons of Brahma, right? Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanat Sujata, and Sanat Kumara. So these 4 are the sons of Lord Brahma, and they are trained in the impersonal philosophy. That is a monistic philosophy, right? That the supreme absolute truth is impersonal. So this is their training. So once they wanted to visit Vaikuntha planet. So they go to Vaikuntha to see Lord Vishnu. So when they came and they crossed each and every door, there are 7 doors in the Vaikuntha. They cross all the 7 doors of Vaikuntha. And when they see the Supreme Lord, they smell the tulasi leaves that were offered on the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. And as soon as they saw Lord Vishnu and they smelled this tulasi that was offered to Lord, they became devotees. So it is actually said that the impersonalism is a starting step towards personalism. So in the beginning, to start the spiritual path, there is a little bit of impersonal thought that, okay, God has no form. Then, we feel a little bit spiritual. Yeah, there's no form for God, right? It is a formless divine energy that is guiding us. So that is like a beginning step. And in the next steps, once we start reading Bhagavad Gita, once we understand the story of Krishna, then we start to understand how great the Supreme Personality of Godhead is. And then we will become the personal worshippers, based on the recommendation given by Lord Krishna himself, that among the two, personal and impersonal, personal worshippers are better. So another example is that of the son of Vyasadeva. So Vyasadeva had a son, his name is Shukadeva Goswami, right? Shukadeva Goswami is a very advanced transcendentalist. He's so advanced, right? That he was not ready to come out of the womb of his mother until the age of 16. So when he was asked, why are you not coming outside? He used to say that, no, if I come outside, there is Maya everywhere and I will be entrapped by illusion. Therefore, I am comfortable here in my meditation. So at the age of 16, he came out of the womb of mother. And when he was born, he straight away walked towards the forest. That is Shukadeva Goswami. He was so renounced that at the time of birth itself, without undergoing any kind of rituals or samskaras, he just went to the forest. So he was so advanced in realization. So if there is any impersonalist who is like the best among the impersonalists, that is Shukadeva Goswami. So this Shukadeva Goswami, when he was going away, his father, Vyasdev, started to chase him, started to shout, oh my dear son, please wait, please wait. And Shukadeva Goswami did not respond to his calls. And instead of him responding, all the trees were responding, my dear father, I am here. Like that, everybody was responding except for Shukadeva Goswami. He was so advanced, liberated soul already. So he was a liberated soul. But once he hears one verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Now there is a verse that he hears from Srimad Bhagavatam, which says that this Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, is so merciful that he has given liberation to Putana, who has come to kill this personality. So Putana has come to kill Lord Sri Krishna, but then Lord Krishna also killed her, but he gave her the position of a nurse in Goloka Vrindavan. So he gave her permanent liberation and permanent place in Goloka, just because she acted like a mother. And her intention was very clear. She wanted to kill. So you can imagine how compassionate this Lord is. So when he heard this verse, Shukadeva Goswami, he just turned and he said, can you please tell me who wrote this verse and what is this all about? I want to learn this. Then he says, yes, Vyasdev, your father wrote this. Then he came back home, right? Just hearing by this verse. And Vyasdev trained him in Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is given in Bhagavatam himself. In the Bhagavatam itself, it's given that, what is the need for Shukadeva Goswami, who is already self-realized, to go through Bhagavatam? Why should he hear about the story of Krishna? Because Krishna's story attracts even the realized personalities. Even the realized personalities enjoy, worshipping Lord Sri Krishna and hearing his stories. So that means that Shukadeva Goswami, who was a Pakka impersonalist, he 100% changed to a pure devotee. Right? So this is what it means. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. So when he comes to that platform of Vasudeva Sarvamiti, Vasudeva Sarvam. Vasudeva means Lord Sri Krishna. Sarvam means everything is Lord Sri Krishna. So if a person is able to see Lord Sri Krishna's lotus feet everywhere and anywhere, so that is a very advanced yogi. Yoginam api sarvesham madgaten antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamomata. Means it's a very advanced stage. Lord Krishna is saying in the last verse of chapter number 6 that among all the yogis, that yogi who is able to think of me always and who is worshipping me in devotional service, such a yogi is the best. And that is my opinion. That's what Lord Sri Krishna says. So here, in continuation with that verse, what we have to understand is, it may take many, many lifetimes for us to understand about Krishna, to surrender about Krishna. And the moment we have surrendered to Krishna, we must realize that we have spent many, many lifetimes in knowledge. And this is the lifetime when we have come to the stage of Vasudeva Sarvam Iti. When we have come to that platform of Vasudeva Sarvam Iti, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and I accept it, that stage Lord Krishna is praising such a devotee by saying, Samahatma Sudurlabha. When he's saying Sa means he is a Mahatma, person who is accepting Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead. Is not an ordinary person. He is Mahatma, very great soul. And it is very, very rare also to find such a soul. Even in the Bhagavatam, it is said, you can even find a lot of realized people around you. There may be thousands and thousands and thousands of self-realized people all around. But even among them, it is very difficult to find one pure devotee of Lord Sri Krishna. Because the pure devotee of Lord Sri Krishna is better than all of these self-realized souls in impersonal realization. So this is the verse that we have heard today. It is all about understanding that Supreme Personality of Godhead is Lord Sri Krishna. And how do you understand that Supreme Personality of Godhead is Lord Sri Krishna? It is not by sentimentalism. It is through knowledge. And Krishna is giving us full knowledge. Right? That's why he says, Mayasakta mana partha yogam yunjan madashrayaha asamshayam samagra mam yatha jnasasi tat shrunu. He says, if you hear very attentively whatever I am saying with your full heart, then you will 100% understand who I am. Right? Asamshayam means without any doubt. Samagram mam means very clearly 100% clarity we will get. Who is Krishna? This much you will understand. Right? But for that the process is yatha jnasasi tat shrunu. Shrunu means hear. Right? This is a Shruti parampara, means hearing. Parampara of hearing. So we have to listen attentively. We have to listen attentively from the authorities, right? Who have realized the truth. Just simply by hearing this truth, then we get the realization. And then we will come to the platform of Mahatma. So it is such an easy process. Simply by association of a pure devotee, we are able to come to the platform of a pure devotee. So this is such a wonderful opportunity for all of us that we are hearing about Bhagavad Gita from Bhagavad Gita as it is by reading the purports of Srila Prabhupada. Right? Thank you very much for joining. Hare Krishna. If you have any questions, you can ask. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nice.